that first down intended. And the play fake. Cousins fires. Wide open receiver on the far side. K.J. Osborne. Touchdown, Minnesota. Wham! A can opener to start. 64 yards.
Crowd trying to make it more difficult now. Burrow throws, intercepted. It is picked off, and on the run is Roquan Smith. Down the sideline. Smith gets a block all the way. The pick six for Roquan Smith.
Second and goal. Goff throwing, end zone, it is caught. T.J. Hawkinson, brilliant grab for the 3rd and 6, and the rain has started to fall. Rodgers zips one in there for Tunyon. Touchdown, Packers.
Pylon listeners, we are back. Week 2 has wrapped up, and the NFC North had a rather interesting weekend, going 2-2 on the weekend. Probably should have been 3-1. We'll get into that one later, Remy. Let's get around to the Pylon crew here. So we got Barney representing the Bears.
Good to see you, boys. Well, what is it? Is this a story as old as time? Packers, Bears on top of the division? Man, this is just too much fun.
Then we got Kinger representing the Packers.
As always, gentlemen, great to be back with you. The Pack are back on track. We took care of business tonight. It was fun to watch.
Then we got Remy representing the Vikings. I was trying to think of something clever.
No, that's fine because we don't even need an intro. It wouldn't be the Vikings without a missed field goal. Good to be back. Fuck the Packers.
That's very true. And then last but not least, a Big Z representing the Detroit Lions. Let's get into that Monday Night Football game right away here, gentlemen. I thought maybe the Lions would come down and score a last-minute touchdown to cover the 11.5-point spread, but they had Jared Goff. And Jared Goff did Jared Goff things in the second half. It was a fun first half, Kinger. I guess I don't know if it made you sweat even, but the Lions defense did what they they did what a lot of people expect and kind of what I expected but they just waited a half to get there pretty much. Kinger, I mean, were you worried about the Packers at all in this game or any of you really?
I can't say I was worried. The defense had me a little alarmed, and I still wouldn't say I'm at a place with comfort with how we've played through 2 games, but for the Lions to come out and score on that opening drive pretty much flawlessly. I'm pretty sure Goff was 4 for 4. They moved the ball down the field, I think in something along the lines of a 5-minute drive, kind of what we talked about in the preview episode last week. It was definitely a little bit of a, you sit up in your chair and you're like, we're going to buckle in. It looks like here we go again. And I mean, we did mention it previously as well that the Lions historically have given the Packers some fits over the last couple of years, or at least they've played them pretty tough. So, the first half went kind of how I expected it to go. I think the Lions scored on all 3 drives in the first half. The Packers were 3 of 4, or maybe it was 3 of 4 for both teams. I know we ended up having a punt at one point. So it started off, kind of exactly how we anticipated it to go. Both teams were moving the ball. The Packers and their pace of play, or the time of possession, I think was pretty even across the board. They tried to reestablish the run, kind of like I anticipated tonight. Huge night for Aaron Jones. Not necessarily getting it done on the ground. I think he only had something along the lines of like 67 yards rushing, but over 100 multi-purpose yards. They really tried to get AJ Dillon involved as well. Rush the ball something like 30 plus times tonight. And, against that Lions defense, that's what you need to do. They wanted to control the time of possession. They were much more creative in the play calling tonight. I'm not quite sure if that was, a big, massive change from last week, or if it was maybe just the inferiority. I don't know if that's a word. I know superiority is a word. I don't know if the inferiority is a word of the Detroit Lions defense, right? So the game, the first half went pretty much how I thought it was. To answer your question, I wasn't worried. Packers really stepped up in the second half.
Yeah. I don't know if it was the Packers more or the Lions, honestly. In the second half here, the Lions defense is just, they really got exposed, especially in the secondary and the second half, a lot more than they did in the first half. And every time that the Lions, first of all, I think I was telling you guys before we get on here that I was just celebrating when they got to a third down. I thought it was a rare occurrence. Sometimes tonight even did get the and then when it got to third and long, penalty. Like there was the one where our undrafted rookie free agent Jacobs pretty much tackled your tight end in coverage. I was just like, what is going on? I did not like that one call, the pass interference call in the end zone against.
Agree with that. That was weak.
That was why you guys lost.
Well, I don't know. It might have been why we didn't cover, but I don't know about loss.
I'm kidding, dude.
I just want to point out a couple penalties really quick in this game. That pass interference, the illegal contact, and the third one was the intentional grounding that made no sense to me whatsoever. He's not only was he out of the pocket, but he was also hit while he threw the ball. So they just kind of made up one there. But so I just got to throw those out to you, Kinger, of course. Because the Packers always get calls against the Lions. It never seems to go the other way.
Like Barney said, this 100% impacted the game. I agree. Had those 3 calls gone the Lions' way,
it was definitely
could have been
an 18-point swing. Definitely an 18-point swing.
No, the swing was the start of that second half that out and up to Devontae on the 3rd and 12. The Lions did a great job. I mean, I don't think Rodgers had very good pocket awareness on that sack to put him in that position, 3rd and 12. He turned around, spun around right into, I think it was Trey Flowers who ended up getting that sack there. But to beat Devontae beating was Brockers.
Yeah.
And I mean, on that out and up route on the 3rd and 12. I mean, honestly, it was pretty good coverage by the Lions defender there. I mean, I wouldn't say great blanket coverage, but it was pretty good. Rodgers just placed a dime into it and then followed it up a few plays later with that just absolute bullet to Tunyon down the middle. And from there, it just kind of took off. And obviously, I will say, that the elements, they played a factor in this game tonight. Jared Goff couldn't hold on to the football. The fumbled snap.
I don't know if his hands are tiny or what, but that was ugly to watch.
Was that what happened? Was it? I saw you guys score a touchdown. I don't know. I went to go to the bathroom, and all of a sudden, the Packers had the ball on
he
20
fumbled
again.
He fumbled a snap under center. He never got it in his hands, and then on a couple drives later, just whoop right out of his hand, butterfingers. Disgusting. Just par for the course of that point in the game, really.
O-line played well. Lions O-line played well. O-line played well.
That's our strength. That's what we do.
Yep.
Unfortunately, our defense can't stop anybody, and we can't establish the run for too long because it can't stop anybody.
Hey, Kinger, how come Zadarius Smith was out?
He's had a lingering back issue for pretty much since training camp. He came back in the middle of training camp practice, went back, sat out, came back last week again. I thought he was a little bit limited last week versus the Saints with his snaps, and it sounded like everything came out. He came out all right after that game, but back to IR this week, and I think it was a little bit of a shocking news. So I think it's short term. I think it's only 3-week IR, but still, we're going to be without him here for these next few weeks. And the Packers pass rush, in my opinion, was less than stellar tonight. So
it was not good.
No, it was not good. There wasn't really much pressure at all outside of a couple of plays. We didn't bring a lot of pressure. We brought 4-man pretty much the entire night. But still, you gotta get a little bit more pressure on the QB. And I do think part of that's credit to the Lions offensive line, but at the end of the day, you want to see more from your guys.
Yeah, the only time our offensive line didn't look good was our backup right tackle, Matt Nelson, who is replacement level for a reason. He definitely gets exposed sometimes, and that was the only place I thought he really attacked our offensive line on. Penei Sewell continues to look really, really good at left tackle, which is a very encouraging sign going forward. It'll be interesting because he did not look good at right tackle the whole preseason, and they throw him out the left tackle. It looks like a whole new person. The debate is out there still about Decker when he comes back. Does he go to right tackle or not? I wouldn't hate it. He already got paid. You can go out there now.
Hey, why not? If he's hurt a little bit, why not just bring him over to what's known as the easier side, right?
Yeah, I mean, it's a weak spot right now for us. But just to go back to this Lions defense, I mean, we could talk about the offense. Goff fumbled it a couple times. I don't think that was as big of a problem. Alex Anzalone, our big quote unquote. They didn't pay him a lot, but he was our biggest free agent signing this offseason. Just awful, awful. The Lions still have no linebackers that can cover a tight end. This has been an ongoing problem since even like before the Patricia era, honestly. DeAndre Levy was the last linebacker of ours that could cover a linebacker, I'm pretty sure. And he got exposed badly tonight. Jamie Collins looks like, he looks really bad. Anytime in the red zone, especially against the running back, he has no chance in hell of covering Aaron Jones or any sort of running back out of the backfield. He looks like a man that does not belong on this defense, and he really isn't. He was brought in by the former regime. I really, really want to see Derek Barnes, Kinger. When are we going to see Derek Barnes? This guy looks so good in the preseason. I don't know why they're not throwing him out there because Anzalone looks so bad. And then finally, a young guy that looked really good tonight, Melifonwu. He gets burned by Adams on that one. Like you said, it wasn't the worst coverage, and he had really nice coverage earlier on a deep bomb. They tested him early, and now he's out for multiple weeks with a quad injury. It's like, oh, come on. Just give us something. Come on. This might be going to be a rough season. At least give us that. Nope. The football gods do not have it that way. They do not. Kinger, you want to get the last word before we move on?
I'm just happy the Packers looked like the Green Bay Packers tonight. We really have to, I think, go into the assumption. I think it's still way too early in this season to really make full-on opinions or have solidified opinions on how this team is going to turn out. All I know is like you mentioned last week, these are, again, your words, not mine. The Lions defense is a great team to play, a great unit to play when you're trying to break out of a slump. I think there's a lot more confidence built up. Aaron Jones, again, with a monster game, 4 touchdowns. It was great to see Devontae get back in the mix tonight. I know Barney was hoping for a touchdown for a massive parlay for him. But overall, I mean, they played great. Good to see Eric Stokes get some coverage tonight. Kevin King is still a problem, but he made a couple plays tonight after starting the game incredibly slow. So defense still has to improve. I still think the communication on that side of the ball is big, and that's going to be a question mark that we've talked about for so long now that it doesn't appear to be going away anytime soon. So just happy we got back on track. Happy Rodgers and then our studs on offense had a big game and got a big one next Sunday night in San Francisco. So took care of business this week, back to 1-1, 1-0 in the division, and life is good tonight.
Ooh, I really quick just want to mention that I really like Jared Goff's throw to T.J. Hawkinson in the corner end zone. That was a
great throw.
Dope pass. I want to see that way more. I haven't seen Jared Goff throw a pass like that in a long time. And then the 3rd and 1 play to Cephas, the deep throw. I'm like, thank you. He never throws it 20 yards. I was like, a 3rd and 1, no less.
Well, he had 6 seconds to throw the ball on that play, too. Nobody was even with.
Right.
I mean, coverage is going to break down eventually.
But still,
so
when he throws it 20 yards, I still, like, my eyes pop out of my head because I can't believe what I'm seeing because it rarely happens. And you saw it tonight again. Dump off. Yeah. Anyways, we can talk about that later this week, perhaps. But let's get now to a team that likes to miss field goals. Ooh. Remy, another rough one, buddy. They play a good game. Kirk Cousins gets them in field goal position for the second week in a row, a 2-minute drill. They get him in field goal. He made the field goal last week, but that was to tie the game this week to win the game. No bueno. What's up?
Yeah, no. First off, I'm upset, but nobody expected the Vikings to even get remotely close or to even have a chance to win this game. Besides myself last week, of course. Everyone thought Kyler was going to come out and dominate, and Kirk was going to be ass against Chandler Jones.
He threw 400 yards against one of the top.
He also threw 2 interceptions as well. He also, we can talk about this defense later.
Clap back, Remy.
He threw 2 picks as well. Let it be known that Kyler Murray did get sacked a few times. Kirk Cousins he got sacked 1 time, and it was a trip up. This offensive line held well. He threw for 244 yards, 3 touchdowns, still no picks on the season. Kyler Murray, 400 yards, 3 touchdowns, 2 picks. That's and I just hate him and I hate Rondale Moore because he's Kinger's guy, and I hate the Packers, and I just cannot stand Rondale Moore. It's like
Rondale Moore has no association with the Packers.
No, he does because you like him and you like the Packers, and so
that is an association.
He pretty much is. He's the wide receiver of Kyler Murray. It's insane. But what stood out to me is Dalvin Cook had himself a gain, 131 yards rushing. But we've solidified our wide receiver 3 in KJ Osborne. If you look at it, Kirk Cousins threw touchdowns to Jefferson, Thielen, and KJ Osborne. It clicked. It clicked on all cylinders. And before the miss, he had made field goals prior to that. I believe he made a 54-yarder and a 55. So the reason before, we had one timeout left with 41 seconds left on the clock to get closer. But Zimmer said, hey, the kid made 2 big ones earlier. We think he can make it 36. Turns out, no, he can't make it. I think I speak for every Viking fan. He also did miss an extra point. Yeah, thank you for that. He missed an extra point. So, and I think Adam Thielen can speak for every Viking fan on this quote. They're getting close enough, but they're sick and tired of just getting close enough. And I am so sick and tired of this. 2 plays, 4 points. We should be 2-0, but if it's in butts, we're candy and nuts. We'd all have a Merry Christmas, and that's just not how it goes. So I know it may sound cliche, but I'm taking this week by week. I am legitimately not scared of any NFL team in the NFL. I'm not scared of anybody. Bring on the fucking Packers. They fucking blow cock. Their defense sucks. Bring on the Lions. I am not scared of them. Bring on the Bears. I cannot wait to play Seattle at home in our home opener. It is going to be so loud. We've shown that we can contain Kyler Murray, my MVP pick for this year. I'm just not scared. Am I pissed off? Yes. Am I not scared? No.
34
How
points. 400 purpose.
How loosely do we use the word contain? I mean, you get 2 picks, and all of a sudden that's like a great defensive day.
I mean, if you're the
you
Falcons,
make the field goal. If you make the field goal and win the game, you contain Kyler Murray because you don't lose to Kyler Murray.
Yeah, but you did it. You didn't win the game, so you lost.
You know what? I can't wait until
you
have to play that slippery fucker. You know how many times we've tried to go off the edge where it's like, oh my God, we got him. Nope, he's just going to find a wide open Rondale Moore. Yes, Kyler's good. That's why I picked him as my MVP. But we should now make the discussion. Kirk Cousins has not thrown an interception yet this season.
He also has not won a game, too.
I really like this late night Remy. We're recording this at 11:30 after the Monday Night Football game, and Remy is fired up as hell.
I'm fired up. I told you guys I'm hangry. I got spaghetti cooking upstairs. The chef's going to cook again on Sunday with Dalvin Cook. Viking fans, we're 0-2. But keep your heads up because we feel the victory coming, and it's going to be sweet, baby. It's going to be sweet.
Remy, same record.
Remy, would it make you feel any better for me to say that I admit that I was wrong, that the Cardinals were going to blow out Minnesota?
That helps, but I knew it. I just knew you'd be wrong. I just knew it. And again, fuck Rondale Moore.
Remy, is
Rondale Moore's a Purdue guy. I have to root for Rondale.
Also, what did
Moore.
Rondale Moore do? I mean, Rondale Moore was open by like 40 yards on that one touchdown. Remy did. I think the Vikings,
it was broken coverage. Yeah,
that was Pat Peterson.
Yeah.
Is it in backyard football where they have like the earthquake special where everybody falls on the ground? Because that's what I thought happened to the Vikings on that.
No,
play.
that was Hocus Pocus, where the wide receiver disappears and reappears wide open down.
Well, something happened on that because I have not seen a receiver open like that in a while. In the
Remy,
NFL.
Remy, let me ask you in all seriousness: is like what happened to Cook? He kind of looked like he got banged up a little bit.
Yeah, his ankles looked like he got banged up a little bit. I haven't seen anything with the injury report. He said he felt fine. They put him back in the game. At least he didn't fumble. Now, if he would have fumbled and cost us a turnover, that would have been a little different, but I haven't seen any updates or anything yet on Cook. I'm sure more will come out tomorrow. But it's just so, you got the ball, you're leading your troops back down the field, and all it takes is a 36-yard that it hurts almost as bad as Blair Walsh's 26-yard miss back in 2015 to beat the Seahawks. But, you do a lot of good things. You gotta convert. You gotta get touchdowns in the red zone. Can't settle for 3 and make your fucking extra points. I don't know. See, and the Cowboy game was going on at the same time. So Greg the Leg Zerline made his, and about 20 seconds later, our games matched up at the place I was watching. I said, well, I don't think both Gregs make it, and my Greg was wrong. Damn you, Greg Joseph. I still love you, but fuck off.
Remy, I think last week you stripped Greg the Leg of his nickname and gave it to gave it to your boy Greg Josephs. So that was instant karma.
When you make a 56-yarder to go to OT, you earn that name. When you make two 50-some yarders in the game to keep your team in the race, you earn that name. When you miss a 36-yard to win the game, you can go to hell.
And PAT.
And PAT. Straight to hell. I'm still not scared. No, not one NFL team scares me in the NFL, and I'll leave it at that.
Good.
Well, Remy, you and I are battling for last place in the NFC North right now. Just, don't worry. We'll battle it out together, buddy. We'll battle it out.
You won't see us in last for very long. And that top spot, enjoy that top spot while you have it because, as Ludacris would say, we coming for that number one spot. Let's go, Vikes.
All right. Remy, that was, I think, a good spot for you to end talking about the Vikings for this week. But we'll get into more later in the week as well. The last game, of course, the Bears. An interesting game. The defense pretty much winning the game for them single-handedly.
Was that not the most Bears game you've ever watched in your life?
It was about what we expected in I guess expected, but in unexpected ways. Kind of how that game went. Justin Fields comes in. Barney, I don't know if you want to talk about him first or throw some props to the defense.
I'll props to the defense and I'll roll into him.
Go for it.
Just like you said, though, I mean, after kind of looking pretty shitty versus the Rams, right, and giving up that historic night to Stafford, we had a bounce back day. I had a call out on Eddie Jackson, after that game, and he stepped up. He didn't have a great game by any, or he didn't have a flawless game by any means. At the very end, he still should have been there to take that touchdown away from Jamar Chase, that 50-yard bomb they heaved up. I mean, he should have been over there in time. But he stepped up. He was missing tackles in that first game. He forced fumbles in this one. He had a huge third down tackle for loss at like the 50-yard mark. So I want to give him props because, it's all about what you did for me lately. Right. So, I want to give props where they're due. Also, Roquan Smith, how he was kept outside the top 100 players in the NFL is still mind-boggling to me. Pick six, that was fantastic to see. It was his first touchdown as a Bear, so that was pretty cool. It was exactly when we needed it as well. And then Jalen Johnson, one throw later. He had his pick versus Burrow. And, I don't know if you guys have noticed this, but he's really cementing himself as at least the number one cornerback taken in 2 years ago's draft. Right now, through 2 weeks, he's the number one cornerback in the NFL. I know that's just 2 weeks. He leads in pass breakups. He's obviously got a touch or an interception. But he's just been fantastic. And when you get rid of Kyle Fuller, that's kind of what you need for your second year, man. He needed to step up, and he did. But, again, the defense wasn't flawless. We have Robert Quinn going in there, who actually had 2 sacks in that last game, so that was nice. But it's third down and 16. Burrow runs out of bounds, like
just
I want to say 12 yards short of the first down, and he was 2 steps out of bounds, and Robert Quinn, gives him the shoulder, and it wasn't much of a hit, but it's just like, dude, what are you doing? Like,
Burrow was just waiting for him to hit him. Like, please do it, please do it.
It was one of those like James Harden or Dwayne Wade, like pump fake just to get like the just knowing that it's not going to be an athletic shot, but he's going to draw the foul. But I mean, you got to be smarter than that. That was a personal foul, first down, that leads to points. And it's like, that just can't happen. And then, just defensively, our nickel corner got chewed up now for a second game in a row. I think it's been going on for like the last 3 years now, or 2 years, ever since we got rid of Bryce Callahan. Joe Burrow just kept going after the well. It didn't matter if it was Boyd or T. Higgins. He would get that matchup, and that was basically the only way they were moving the ball on us. So, we got to figure out, somebody else has got to get out there, whether that's in, the free agency or what. But Duke Shelley is just, he's a weak link for us. And, we really got to get that taken care of. But,
Yeah.
Moving on to the offense, it was a really nice moment when God stepped in and did not let Nagy have his way anymore and keep Dalton in. Now, I won't say that
I think Dalton looked pretty good in this game, man.
Dalton looked fantastic, and I'm not giving a shot on Dalton. I'm more so, I just can't wait for the inevitable, and that's Nagy to get off our fucking team. But Dalton came in, first drive, led to a touchdown. It was the only touchdown drive that we had the entire fucking game. Okay. He looked great. He had a couple big runs, like for third down to move the chains. And the one that costed him was, that 20 or so yarder that he took that it looks like right now it's just a bone bruise on his knee, which is good. So, no structural damage to the ACL, MCL, at least right now, by all reports came out. But, you never really know what a bone bruise is gonna, like how long that's gonna keep somebody out. Like, I don't know if there's just shots of whatever that'll make you forget about that. But, so be it. What I will say is, let's just throw out the stats right here for Justin Fields, because that's what we kind of want to get into here as an offense. 6 for 13 for 60 yards and a touch or in an interception. Not great. Not great at all. He had 34 yards rushing, which is nice, but I will say those stats, if you're just reading those stats, that's not telling you the full story. What killed us in our game was our wide receivers dropping the ball. I don't know what was going on, but, just Allen Robinson, he had a great game going up to that point, but Allen Robinson and Mooney dropping balls, like just right in their hands, just really nice tosses. Robinson's was like a 40-yard heave right in the end zone, right into his gut. He had a full step on Chidobe Awuzie or whatever his name is. He had a full step on him. It literally comes around, hits him in the gut as he's falling down in the end zone, and he drops it. Something that I thought he would come down with the catch 10 out of 10 times. But he didn't. But, that's not Justin's fault. He can only throw a ball as good as that, and it's just got to be on the other side. The wide receivers got to come down to it. You got another one in the end, three end zone drops. Allen Robinson, although this one I'll more so say this was a 50-50 ball. It was like a 20-yard pass, and the corner just made a great play on the ball. Allen Robinson got their hands on it, but cornerback made the play, whatever. And then the last one, it was Mooney going on a drag all the way to the far sideline, and he just in the end zone had it in his hands, couldn't come down with the catch. If you just talk about one of those being a touchdown or two of those, I won't say three, you don't say that Justin Fields has a very bad game. So, what I will say is it wasn't the best, but it was exactly what we needed. And I'm all right with that. One last thing, that interception, I don't know if you guys saw that. It was a little ugly, but when you look at the play, they were showing a full out blitz, but it was just one of those zone drops. They're coming out late, the nickel coming right at Justin Fields. So he thought he had the shallow cross, and then that D line just kind of popped back out from that pass rush. And it was a perfect call for that exact play. And it was a learning moment. He put it right in that guy's hands. It was a red zone interception for him. And, it's one that he definitely wants back. But at the end of the day, you can have those mistakes when you come out with the win, especially in your first game. So, I'm excited about what's to come. Andy Dalton played fantastic, but when you have Andy Dalton out there, he's averaging 4 yards per attempt. He's doing hitches and screens, just like Mitch Trubisky, just like Nick Foles. But with that same play calling, Nagy out there being the fucking knucklehead that he is, Justin Fields, he averages 9 yards per attempt. He's pushing the ball downfield, and it's a much more enjoyable game when he's out there. So, long story short, not the cleanest game on offense, not the greatest start for a rookie, to come out. But hey, that was a W, and he made a lot of really, really good plays with his legs at the end of that game to make sure that he moved the sticks. And I think that the future's bright. The future's bright, at least for our signal caller.
It could be worse, Barney. It could be he could be Zach Wilson out there.
Dude, brutal.
Oh man, yeah, he's had a rough start for sure. But yeah, but you got the dub.
That's the only stat that matters.
Ask the Vikings. Ask the Lions how hard it is to get a win in the NFL. It's not easy, man. It's not easy. Remy, I'm home too, man. At least you were in the games. The Lions, I guess, technically were in the game last week, and then for a half this week.
Shout out Jared Goff for helping me secure my fantasy dub. Needless to say, Lamar Jackson helped out. We have a 2-quarterback league, but Jared Goff is my number 2 quarterback, and he helped me secure the dub.
Did you get him in the last round?
Oh yeah, I grabbed him extremely late.
Let's give another a little Aaron, or I had Aaron Jones down 33 tonight. Aaron Jones number 33. I kind of felt like my hairs were sticking up. I was like, maybe this can happen on Monday night. He goes off. Sorry, Tom Daly, love you, but better luck next week.
Oh yeah, there's some massive ones. Derrick Henry, Cooper Kupp, he had a big week. Some big weeks out there for sure. Some people, and I'm sure Aaron Rodgers had good fantasy. Just really quick preview to next week. The Lions will be hosting the Ravens. I think they're 10-point underdogs in that game. Oh boy. Bears traveling to Cleveland. Bears 7.5-point underdogs right there right now. The Vikings finally get to go home. Are you going to the game, Remy?
I don't think so anymore just because of my back. I was planning on going to the Seahawks one, and then that got pushed back. And then I was planning on going to the Browns game the following week. That got pushed back. And then the Lions game the following week. But I don't know. We'll see what my back neurosurgeon says.
Gotcha. Well, but we hope your back gets better, man. But anyways, Vikings 1-point underdogs right now hosting the Seahawks. And then Packers, Sunday Night Football, traveling to San Francisco, and they are also underdogs, 3.5. So the whole NFC North underdogs next week.
The U.S. gets Green Bay and national television again, prime time. That's what everybody loves.
Yeah, I guess so. Oh boy. Yep. All right. So, gentlemen, NFC North splitting wins and losses this week. But we'll move on to week 3. Now there's some wins in the column here. We got a little separation going on, so that'll make it interesting. I just hope the Lions can make it interesting personally, in the fourth quarter, one of these weeks coming up. But wishful thinking, I suppose. But thank you everybody for listening. Instagram at the Pylon, Twitter at the Pylon Pod. Please follow us on those social media accounts. Posting on there a lot. Really appreciate it. And just leave some comments, about the podcast, your thoughts on the week, everything like that. Spotify, Apple Podcasts, wherever you get your podcasts. Download it, subscribe, leave a review on there. It's always really helpful and really appreciated. Otherwise, just thank you for listening. Really, we just thank you so much. And we hope you listen to this podcast and have the great rest of your week. And look forward to Thursday where we preview week 3, and I guess our best bets. I was 0-3 again, gentlemen. It's a really, really rough start. I know what Kinger feels like now. So,
what is that?
I don't know if I don't think I had multiple 0-2. I think
No.
I don't think so. I think I only had one 0-3 week last year.
All right. Well, I'm going to go to the lab.
Go to the lab.
I'm
report
really
back on
this
that.
Out. I do.
That was a haymaker out of nowhere.
I got nothing to lose at this point, right? I'm Hey,
you're Vegas's favorite better, man.
Well, that's for sure. That's for sure. Oh, boy. All right. So, gentlemen, thank you, everybody, for listening. Really appreciate it. Look forward to getting the next podcast out there, previewing week 3 of the NFL season.
Fair now.